Wie geht es?
Oh, hello. Always good to see you, Dragonborn.
Oh, was ist denn das?
Good to see you. Thank you. Let me see if I can walk. So dizzy. So weak. Can't walk.
Sienna, he's not gonna make it if you don't help him. See what you can do.
Hang on, Forrest. I'll have you as good as new in a second.
Okay. Ein bisschen Magie, hoffe ich, das ist.
It's much better now, Sienna. Thank you. Falco? Sienna? What are you doing here?
Valerius sent us to find you and bring you home. Did you think we would let you rot in here? No, not all of them. Our new friend here is quite a fighter.
Yes. Who is this with you? I've never seen her before.
A traveler and a new friend of Marcus Janus. Of course, you won't believe it. Marcus is in Skyrim.
Marcus Janus in Skyrim? You must be drinking too much meat again, Falco.
No, it's true. And he's back in Helgen with Valerius.
Helgen? I bet Valerius never saw that one coming.
Something about
That's pretty funny.
rebuilding Helgen, I think. Of course, we can talk about that later. We need to go.
Yes. Let's get out of here before any more of those Dalmor maggots show up.
Well, you can't travel like that. Is your gear around here anywhere?
Yes. I believe they put it in this chest over there. Let me see.
Mal ein bisschen Licht, damit er auch was noch ein bisschen besser sehen kann.
Yes, there it is. That's much better. Perhaps our new friend here will lead the way. We will be right behind you.
Okay. Dann gehen wir mal wieder hier raus. Wieder ein bisschen wie. Auf jeden Fall liegt hier eine Leiche. Ich glaube, wir müssen in eine andere Richtung. Sorry, Buddies. Wir müssen in eine andere Richtung. Ja, und ich habe schon wieder den Bug. Ja. Jetzt geht's wieder. Da lang. Hier hin und nach dort. Okay. Hier mal durch. Himmelsrand. Bringen wir mal den alten Freund wieder zurück in sein altes Häuschen. Oder in seinen alten Ort, glaube ich, alten Ort. Und lassen wir ihn mal mit Val und Markus oder wie auch immer heißt, ich vergesse seinen Namen, reden. Oh, jetzt über den Framerate aber einbrechen, glaube ich. Weil es schon so geil aussieht. Oh, das ist sich gut. 25, 26 geht ja. Ich will aber trotzdem nicht zu hastige Bewegungen machen. Nicht, dass mir die Frames noch einbrechen, weil die Grafikkarte, ich bin stolz darauf, dass es überhaupt noch genug aushält. Hier lang, dadurch und nach links und dann links und nochmal rechts. Da bist du.
You're Dragonborn. I never believed in all that nonsense. I've always trusted my instinct and my steel.
Sehr schön zu wissen, aber ich habe ein paar Freunde mitgebracht.
Sure, Bones. I see now why Marcus has spoken so highly of you. Quite impressive. Now, let's see if we can find out what in the name of Akatosh is going on in that prison. Forrest, thank the gods you're safe. But how in Oblivion were you even captured?
I don't know how they found me. It's like they knew exactly where I was hiding. I never
Es
had
ist
a
ein
chance to
schöner
escape.
Tag, wenn ihr in der Nähe
Well,
seid.
Oh Gott, ich habe ganz
You're
vergessen.
okay now. Tell me what you learned.
It's a prison, all right, and it's heavily guarded inside. Well, It was heavily guarded. There are none alive in there now. The commandant was never there that I could tell.
Did anyone mention where he was?
I overheard the guards joking about him getting soft in their embassy and spending too much time with some whore from the Tormas Tavern. But that's all I could hear them say.
Did you learn anything else?
Well, I didn't think much of it at the time, but I overheard the guard talking about how many prisoners were coming and going from the prison. And I noticed several new prisoners had probably get taken away while I was there, just like he said. They were not tortured, beaten, or starved either. I guess they saved all of that for me. And wait. Yes, one group had a family, a woman and a small child, but he was not old enough to fight.
Okay.
The guard was joking about raping the woman and selling the child to bandits as a slave. Could that be true? They are selling slaves?
Okay, geil.
Well now, that's certainly a lot to chew on. Excellent work, old friend. I'll check and see if any of my sources know about any of this. Thank you, Korst. You go get something to eat and some sleep. I need you well rested. Dismissed. You've done me a great service, friend. You saved his life, and for that I will never be able to repay you. Is there anything else you can add?
Nein, ich glaube, das war's. Crossbericht war genau.
Did you hear anything about slaves?
Nein, ich habe das Gefängnis. Aber das Gefängnis war riesig und Kost war der einzige Gefangene. Ich glaube schon, sonst hätte ich ihn umgebracht.
It is odd, isn't it? So it looks like the elves are up to no good. Where else to easily kidnap people than in Skyrim? All they have to say is that they're worshipping Talos. I'm sure many of these enforcers skulking about in Skyrim are under their command. I know you've had a long day, and I won't keep you. We'll let you know when we have anything new. But please, check in with Marcus as soon as you
Oh,
can.
jetzt die schon wieder.
Thank you, again, my friend.
Immer wieder gern. Dich.
Fass das bitte nicht falsch auf. Geht voran.
Ja. Was habe ich denn eigentlich, wenn jetzt alle sagen? Stumpfmacher. Okay. Ich weiß nicht, was das ist, aber... Okay. Ich glaube, ich soll mit Markus reden. Oder so.
Hello. I was wondering if I could talk to you for a second.
Ja, gerne, klar, sicher, worüber?
I just wanted to introduce myself mostly. I'm Sienna. There, formal introduction over. I feel better now, don't you?
Gut, hallo, Sienna, erzähl mir was von euch. Oh, nee.
Well, I like moonlit walks through the old ruins, candlelit workshops, and the feel of cold steel in my hand. You know, the same stuff as other women. I'm not quite sure how to take that, so I'll take it as a compliment.
Erzähl mir mehr von euch.
If you're wondering how I ended up with a bunch of old soldiers from the Great War, they saved my life. When the elves burnt our farm, my parents hid me in a basket in the woods. Balfring found me and gave me to an orphanage until the war in Hammerfell was over. But he kept in touch through the years. And when I was old enough to be on my own, I joined them. He taught me everything I know about fighting, and especially armoring. Say, from what I saw at the prison, you know how to handle yourself out there. But if you ever want any company, come and get me, okay?
Gerne. War schön mit dir zu unterhalten. Aber ich möchte mit dir nichts zu tun haben. Mir reicht schon, wenn ich eine Olle hinten drin habe.
I always heard the legends in my childhood, but I always thought they were fairy tales. But they're true. Can I help you, friend?
Ja, kannst du gerne. Weil ihr sagt, ihr wollt mich sehen.
I praise the nine you came along. Your help thus far has been invaluable, but it's time to make some difficult choices. Valerius and I have spoken at length about this, and we value your opinion. We need more guards for the hold, as there's only a few of us right now. We're vulnerable to attack from several fronts, especially from the entrance through the caves, as well as the two main gates. There is no possible way the laborers and carpenters can begin their work if they're not able to do so safely. We need more guards.
Okay, können wir sie selbst anheuern und unabhängig bleiben? Ich habe mich im Krieg für keine Seite entschieden, lass uns darüber reden. Wenn ich es mir genau überlege, kann ich jetzt noch keine Entscheidung treffen.
That depends much on you, actually. Neither the Empire or the Stormcloaks are likely to lend assistance to anyone outside their ranks. To try and solicit their help would require you to, at a minimum, join their respective army. After you do so, we may be able to put you in contact with someone we know, who may send a few guards for the settlement.
Was sind die Vor- und Nachteile, die Kaiserlichen dazu zu bringen, uns zu helfen? Oh, das wusste ich eigentlich auch noch nie.
Well, if you're looking at the big picture, a united empire is the only real hope of ever defeating the Thalmor once and for all. Skyrim under Stormcloak rule would most likely weaken the empire in the end. And Ulfric would not be able to defeat the Thalmor.
Ja, das stimmt auf jeden Fall.
Yes, Skyrim would have its independence, but at what cost to the rest of Tamriel? Thalmor is not as weak as you may believe. Ask why the Empire has allowed them into Skyrim, to hunt down the Talos worshippers. The only possible reason is to preserve this tenuous peace treaty. Believe me, we have no love for Titus Mede II, but we love our country. Sometimes, hard decisions must be made for the greater good. Titus left many of our brothers to die at the hands of the Altmeri during the Great War. For that, he'll have to answer to the gods. Valerius and I care about Tamriel, not necessarily the Empire. But, if we are ever to return to the peaceful country we once had, well, I believe a strong and united empire is the only way.
Oh ja. Was sind die Vor- und Nachteile, die Sturmwelt dazu bringen, uns zu helfen?
The obvious advantage is that they hate the Thalmor as much as we do. They'll probably even help our little insurgency if we ask. They surely would provide us with sanctuary if we were discovered. There's no doubt that our cause would be safe. However, we're not convinced the Stormcloaks can win this war. And if they lose the war, this fort may just fall back into Imperial hands.
Ja, stimmt.
But siding with the Stormcloaks will open the door to new recruits who want to worship Talos in any manner they see fit. And any free society should be able to do so, without fear of imprisonment or death. So I understand their cause, and it's a noble one. While I hate to turn my back on the Empire I served for so many years, they turned their back on me many years ago.
Okay, dann, ich muss erst noch ein wenig überdenken, ob ich in diesen Bürgerkrieg verwickelt werden will. Nein. Wenn ich so will, kann ich jetzt noch eine Entscheidung treffen.
Okay. Would you like to discuss anything else?
Nein, eigentlich jetzt noch nicht. Nein. Dann trete ich mal kurz der den Kaiserlichen, ne? Bei schlimme Zeiten, ne? Weil da hat er recht, natürlich kaiserliche Hammerei, aber nice. Wenn die Thalmor schneller umbringen können als die anderen, das wäre auf jeden Fall sehr hilfreich für uns. Wo muss ich denn die Leute umbringen? Hier muss ich die Leute umbringen. Gehen wir nach Mederia, da war mit der verstehe ich mich sowieso sehr gut. Und dann töten wir mal ein paar Jungs.
Ich gebe euch Deckung.
So, da müssen wir... Ach, Kacke. Erstmal schon verstecken. Sorry, aber ich kann es nicht